Abuse VQ, stay locked
I'm gonna do
in.
an oil change or a service change, but I'm a little ahead of schedule. Being that this is a brand new bike and I know break-in is 620, that is where you are supposed to do your oil change. But since I'm almost at 250 now, brand new bike, I'm gonna do the first interval service oil change now just to stay on top of it, and then now try and break it down into better segments as far as not waiting until the 620 break in, and then you have all the metal shavings and all of that in your engine settling in the filters and all of that, and all the deposits and stuff like that. So let's just catch all of that early. Let's make sure we have everything that we need, and let's get it going, team. Let's get the rear up on the stand and let's get it going. So, quick sidebar. Just want y'all to see too, I definitely took the bike out right quick so it's still warm. So you want to be careful because you'll be working with a hot engine, and then on the opposite side you'll be by the exhaust. So definitely want to make sure that you're careful and you don't burn yourself, but you want to make sure that your engine is warm. That's going to make the oil viscous enough to, well, I'm sorry, that's going to bring the viscosity of the oil up so more can drain. Let's go. All right, squad. So we got the back of the bike up on the stand, and let's get our gloves on. Let's get everything ready. For the most part, when you order the kit, it comes with everything. This is me because I like the transparent housing. We're gonna switch that, but the kit comes with everything. So you're gonna get a new drain plug. Ooh, we got the new O-ring. If I was replacing the O-ring on here, that's what that would be for. And you should have two filters. This is your main filter, and then this should be your other filter. Yes, I'm sorry. This is your main filter on your exhaust side, where your exhaust comes out, or your muffler. And this is the one that is right over your header. Then you have this here. That is the small one with the bolt that goes under the bike. So as I'm installing this, I'll go through everything and show you guys how I do my oil change, because I'll attack this just like I attack my car. So let's go. Get to this filter here, and you're gonna need the 8s for these. But let's take this pin line off. These are going to be a 4mm hex. So let's get it. Okay, so we got the lower fairing off. We're good to go on that. So now let's motivate and let's go to the opposite side so we can pull the drain plug in here and get this 18 going so we can break the drain plug free and get that filter out. Let's go. All right, team, so this is my setup to drain the oil on this side, just to make sure that I'm not getting any oil on the header. So I got this little oil kit that came with the funnel. Kind of dope. I'll put the link in the description down bottom if you guys want to check it out, or if you guys want it to help you keep your bike clean, keep your headers, exhaust clean, whatnot, what have you. So this is what I have, and then we're just gonna use the 18 because that's an 18mm head there for your drain, and we're just going to break that free. And then now I'm gonna come in and use my hand and actually take it off and let it drain. And then again, you got a brand new one, so we're not reusing this. This can go in the trash. Straight basura. So, there we go. There we go. Whoop. Drained on the other side too. But there we go. We got shop towels. We got it. All right, team. So I kind of have everything set up specifically for this first filter joint, right? So for your first filter, this is your new filter that's going to come in your kit. And then this is your new drain plug with the fresh O-ring. That's going to come with the kit. We're going to get the old filter out of there. I'm just trying to let it do its drain thing so it can drain as much as possible. But I think it'll drain a little bit better once we pull this filter out. Come on. Booyah, look at that. Even more. And just from running the bike 250 miles, look at all of that, like the metal shavings and everything on the filter. Like all the dirt, gunk, and that's 250. And then y'all wanted me to let the bike run for another 410 miles with this stuff in. So nah, we caught it right in time. Get that out of here. We caught it right in time, team. That's too much metal shavings for my liking. Yeah, I mean, the other oil probably rinsed it off, but y'all saw what it looked like. And get that out of there just to make sure that we're good. Like I said, it's a brand new bike. Haven't even reached full break-in yet, so I just want to stay ahead of the game. And again, respectfully, the oil costs more than the whole kit. So I'm going with the Motol 7100, 15W50, and we're gonna swap out the oil like that, but we're still just gonna let this drain. Got my shop towels so we can get this as clean as possible before we install the next filter and stuff. So while that's actually draining, I'm gonna move this over so we can get the next filter that's under the bike. That's gonna be a size 13. Let's switch up the gear and get it. All right, squad, so your second filter, or the second thing you need to drain, is this little butte right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's dark. But let me see if I can get the joint on it. But it's right here, right there. Let me see if I can switch it. Yep, that right there. Let's bring this over if you guys can see, just so you can see it a little bit better. And let's break that. Booyah. And then we'll come back and twist that out by hand. Let's go. All right, team, so this was the filter that is under the bike right next to the exhaust. Please watch your hand, especially like I said, because your bike is gonna be hot or warm. But this is the filter. Just wanted to show you guys if you can see all the metal shavings that's on this. And again, this is what they're telling you to leave in your bike for 620 miles until your first service. And you kind of already see all the metal shavings and everything that's on the filter already. So I think getting to it sooner rather than waiting that whole break-in period, again, the kit doesn't cost that much. And you can honestly, you know, just replace it. It's nothing that you're going to be reusing. And you see for yourself, again, this is not even 250 miles on a brand new bike, and you see all the metal shavings. So let's let it drain and keep it going. So just wanted to show you how, for myself, how I stay up on it. Once I remove this like little drain contraption for the header, I come in, I'll clean out the residue off this first, and then immediately put a shop towel right under that. So if there's anything else that has to come out, it's gonna catch that. That'll be good. The middle one under next to that 13 is draining. let's get to the opposite side and get that last main filter. Okay, squad, so now we're coming through to do the last filter, which is on this side. This is gonna be 2 8mm bolts. And again, they're not on that tight. You see, it even says it, oil filter, Shaba. So both bolts out, right? Let's put those over here to the side and pull this over. Just come right here on the edge and see, you'll be able to get it. It's a little lip right here, you'll be able to get it. And let's just pull that away and you'll see if I was reusing this, they gave me the O-ring for that. But since we're not, we're just gonna put that over here to the side. And then this O-ring, we can put that to the side. And this is what we're gonna be using to replace that. But let's let this drain. And I don't have a pick or anything. So respectfully, a longer, trusty flathead screwdriver. I was able to wedge it right here on the corner and pull it forward a little bit till I was able to get behind this little metal ring and pull it all the way forward. So let's get this old filter out, which again, doesn't look too bad. Oil still looks decent, I mean, for the most part, but just wanna go with the preventative maintenance. That is the type of time that we are on, team. So let's throw that over there. Shop tail, that there. So here, and let's let this drain. Let's go. All right, team, so it's drained for the most part, right? Besides the residual. The reason I like the shop towels, super clean. No need to reuse anything like that, throw away. But just get in here and wipe down as much as I can to get all this residual oil out. So now I know it's clean. As clean as we can have it. You know what I mean? That looks clean. That looks nice and clean. So might go over it one more time with a fresh shop towel just to make sure that's nice and clean. And then let's get to replacing the 3 filters one at a time. Let's go. All right, team. So let's take it in reverse order to get this going, right? So got an O-ring here. Oops, sorry. We got an O-ring here, and then we got an O-ring here. So what I like to do, got the new oil, right? Let's pop that open. Respectfully, you don't need a lot. Oh, let me make sure this is sealed. And it got the nice nozzle. Right. All right. Let's pop this open. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. Let's put that to the side. And now we have a little residual oil, right? So we can kind of get our finger in there. Little, little tilt. Got a little fresh oil, right? A little fresh oil. Let's lubricate the O-rings with the new fresh oil. Highly recommend it. And then let's slide this back in here. That's one filter, right? And then now let's go in here again. Let's bring it to the side. Fresh oil. Let's come through. Lubricate the O-ring here with fresh oil. And then we're going to finger tight it and get it started. Let's get the fingers clean. But always lubricate. Always lubricate your O-rings. Always make sure you take that tactic before reinstalling, just so it's not dry. And then on top of that, just to make sure that it's properly lubricated and everything sits properly. Gives you a airtight seal. I just like to go hand tight with it. All right, so this bolt here is going to be 15 Newton meters. Gotta break out my inch-pound torque wrench so we can get that, but that is 15 Newton meters. The one that's underneath that we took out, probably still draining just a little bit. That one is going to be 13 Newton meters. And then the two 10 millimeter bolts on the opposite side, those are going to be, the 8s on the opposite side are gonna be 10 Newton meters a piece. So let's get this stuff in. All right, team, so it's the same thing here with this small filter that's going in the bottom. Again, this is the one that goes this way, up under your bike, right next to your header. On your exhaust. Let's lubricate that O-ring as well. Fresh oil. Let's lubricate that. And then let's lubricate this O-ring here. And then let's get under here right quick and just wipe it off right quick and make sure that that's nice and clean. And then we'll install that. All right, team, so you can see where the hole is right here, right? Where we got to drain it. You just want to make sure that you take your time and you actually really clean this and you clean the outer portioning of it to make sure there's no debris or anything like that. So when you do go to replace it, everything sits properly. So let's grab it up. Let's get in here and let's get it in. That's in, and then we're just going to start it by hand. Down to the last filter right here with your cover. Again, you know my MO, baby. Let's get a little bit of the oil, fresh oil at that. Let's a little bit on the finger. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Let's lubricate the ring here before we put that in. Get that nice and lubricated with some fresh oil. Let's get the filter in. All right, filter's in, you hear a snap. Now, same thing, we're gonna come back here, a little fresh oil, nothing crazy. Let's get it around the new O-ring here. And then, once we do that, we're gonna take our time now, once we're gonna put this back on, because now we wanna make sure everything sits properly. So let's take our time, let me get this set up and then get the bolts started. So now everything should be perfectly fine, it should sit properly. Just take our time with it. Let's get it set up. All right, squad, so before we get the bolts and everything set up, so we have this lubed already, right, with the fresh oil. We're gonna put some blue Loctite on these bolts and then get everything set up in that fashion. And we should be good in that note on the reinstall. You know, me and Loctite are best friends. But definitely we suggest putting some blue Loctite on these bolts when you reinstall your oil filter cap. Let's go. All right, so last but not least, team, we got the Loctite on the bolts. We got everything set up. We're just going to, again, go in hand tight on both sides, back and forth, just to make sure everything is evenly seated. And we're not just going to tighten one side. Now, this is supposed to be 10 Newton meters. So I'll break out my torque wrench again from the other side of the bike and we'll tighten that down. And that's it for that. And it'll be time to install the oil. Let's go. All right, squad, so moving to the next plan of movement, we're gonna get the bike off the stand. With the bike off the stand and off the stand and the rear stand, we're gonna put it on the kickstand. and then we're gonna try and level it out and go from there. I know you guys see my Fiji bottle and the funnel, right? So what I'm gonna do for starters, just so I know that first 1.5 liters is official, Fiji bottles, if you guys don't know, is exactly 1.5 liters. So we'll get the rest of the little bit of water out of that, get that completely dry for the most part. And yeah, we'll do it like that. Just so we know that first 1.5 is good, then we can kind of fish around for what the right level to be to get those last 0.2 liters in the bike perfectly. Let's go. All right, team, so we have our Fiji bottle filled. That's 1.5 liters indefinitely. And now it's just a small guessing game for that 0.2 liters to see how we're gonna do it. But I know for a fact the bike takes 1.8. Again, you have to take into consideration that all the filters that we just changed, those have to fill up as well. So 1.7, 1.8, relatively, again, everything cleaned up. Before I put on this belly fairing, I just want to make sure everything is cool when I put the oil in and run the bike a little bit and just double check and make sure there's no leaks. Make sure everything is A1. Let's go. All right, team, so just taking it slow as of right now, but we got the pour game going, looking good. And again, we'll just dispense this whole bottle, again, of the Motul 7100 oil. And that should be a good look there. And then from here, we'll try and get the bike upright just so we can get those last few 0.2 liters in there. So let's do this, let's go. So I just want y'all to see, right? When you first put in that first 0.5, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to stand the bike up, but I'm a strong boy. You can see the glass is full, and that's okay, only because we still didn't put the last 2.2 liters in there. So we're gonna kind of try and keep the bike stood up straight, or go sit on the bike and start it, let it run for a couple of minutes, see where we're at, and then we're going to add a little bit more, or add the rest of it. Let's go. All right, let's start it up and see where we're at for starters. See, on the side, it looks empty, right? But I know we stand it straight up, it's going to take all that oil. So let's get the bike up. We see it still looks like it's still a little empty anyway with the bike up. So it's not completely full with the 1.5, but it looked just about there. So let's start it and see what we get. See, we kind of have oil everywhere that we should have it. Let's just fill this last 0.2 liters and see what we get. All right, squad, so we A1, right? So fiddling around, going between trying to figure out what is the exact amount. So one full of these, and then roughly for me, it was up to this top line, like right in between this top line here, that gave me the 0.2 liters I needed. And then kind of was just taking it step by, oh, we leaning too much? There we go. Taking it step by step to make sure that the oil level was right between the two hash marks. Looking wavy, looking wavy. I prefer to be right where it's at, baby. The bike is standing up. I got it straight. got the bike up straight. So that's where it's supposed to be. And we are looking A1, team. Let's go. Let's go, baby. That's the oil change. So you already know you can ride comfortably now. I feel a little bit better knowing that I did the oil change. I had a schedule just to keep the maintenance up. I'm able to use the oil of my choice that I like. Again, I swapped the air filters, the air filter with the K&N, the air filter cover with the DNA, air filter cover, high flow. So we'll see now if this spruces up the bike and gives it new life. We'll definitely see what's up, team. But that's the oil change. That is your oil change maintenance. You already know I got plenty more maintenance to do on the bike. So I have the fluids in here to my liking. And we'll just keep it going, team. You already know the vibe. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button, squad. Stay locked in. You already know.